Assalamualaikum everyone. I hope you all are doing great at your home. So today is our video lesson. So we are going to discuss about chapter number one, the remaining question. And in the previous first of all, please take out your notebooks for the computer class. You have to write down the questions that I write in this lesson on your notebooks. Okay, आप लोगों ने ये सारे questions अपनी notebook पर लिखने हैं. So before starting our today's lesson, just recap from previous lesson. There is a recap. For example, in the previous lesson, we discussed about the CPU. It is a long question that is explain the CPU and its parts. So they are basically in this long question we discuss about the CPU full form. First, we have to write the full form of the CPU, that is Central Processing Unit. Okay, and after that we learn about the function of the CPU. That is the CPU is the main part of the computer. It is also known as the brain of the computer. So that's why it is used to control all the part of the computer. Okay, so it is very important part of the computer because without the brain the computer will not work. Okay, and after that we learn about the parts of the CPU. So there are three parts of the CPU. The first one is ALU, the second one is CU, and the last one is MU. Okay, so in these three parts we learned about first we write the first we write the full form of the part name, okay, and then we write the function of the part, and at the last we write the example. Okay, so the full form of ALU is arithmetic logic unit. So according to the name you can assume that it is used for the calculations. Okay, अगर आप लोगों ने कोई भी mathematical calculation करनी है, if you want to do addition, multiplication, subtraction, or any type of comparison, like which one is the greater than, which one is less than, which one is equal to, so the ALU will help the computer to do this task. Okay, and after that we learn about the CU, that is control unit, and control unit is basically the full form of control unit is the short form of control unit is CU. Okay, C stand for control and U stand for unit. So basically control unit is used for to give the commands, any type of instruction in the computer. And after that there is a MU, that is memory unit. M stand for memory and U stand for unit. Memory unit is used for giving the memory or storage to any type of file. For example, if you want to save a file, then MU will do this task, because anything that is related to the memory or a storage, the MU will handle it. Okay, so in the previous lesson we discussed about this topic, that is explain the CPU with its parts. Okay, so now we are going to discuss about some short questions of this chapter. That is your today's task. You have to take out your notebooks and your pens. You have to write this word neat and clean on your notebook. So please take out your notebook. So there is a question that is, what do you understand by an operating system? Give two examples. Okay, so there is a question that is, what do you understand by an operating system? Give two examples. Okay, so this is your question. You have to write this question on your notebooks. Okay, so your question is, what do you understand by operating system? The short form of operating system is OS. Okay, so if I write what do you understand by an operating system, give two example, then it's mean you have to write the I am discussing or asking about the operating system. Okay, so first you have to tell me what is operating system, and then you have to write the two example of operating system. So the answer is an OS, or you can write operating system is a collection of programs that manages and controls the computer. Okay, so these are the collection, these are the group of programs that control and manage all the tasks, all the part of the computer. Then you have to write, we can also call it a supervisor of all other part of other softwares in a computer. Okay, so what is operating system? So operating system is a collection of programs that manages and control the computer. We can also call it supervisor of all other softwares in a computer. For example, take you can understand the operating system with the help of your classroom. There are a lot of students in the classroom, so take each student as a program. So in the classroom there are a lot of students, means there are a lot of programs in the classroom, and who will supervise your classroom? Your teacher. Okay, so your teacher is a supervisor. So that's why you can take this example. As a teacher, as a supervisor, we have to manage all the programs, all the students. So that's why we can say that the teacher is an operating system that manage all the programs. With the help of this example, you can understand what is the meaning of operating system. So basically, operating system is a collection of programs that manage and control the computer. So that's why it is also known as the supervisor of the computer. So there are some examples like Windows. Windows is your operating system. Mac OS. Mac OS means Mac operating system. Android, etc. Okay, so these are some examples. After that, there is one more question, that is there is one more question, that is you have to make a you have to tell me, do you think that in future AI, the full form of AI is artificial intelligence. Okay, so do you think that in future AI might replace teachers in the classroom? Give reasons for your answer. Okay, so the next question is, you have to tell me, do you think in the future the AI means the artificial intelligence might replace your teachers in the classroom? If yes, then you have to tell me which reason that how the AI will replace a teacher. If no, then you have to write the reason for your answer. Okay, so according to me, if I am a student and I am answering this question, so I say no. Why I say no? Because the basic difference between the human and the robots are feelings. Okay, because robot doesn't have feelings, so that's why it might not be take any type of replacement for. So as a teacher, I will say no, because the computer, if the basic difference between the human and the robot or a computer is the feeling. Okay, so so that's why it will not replace the computer completely, because in many aspects the robots are not similar to the teacher, because we can understand our students feeling, their mood swings. Okay, so that's why the answer is no. You can write the answer by yourself too. आप खुद से भी इनके आंसर लिख सकते हैं. Okay, so I will say no, because AI cannot fully replace teachers. Why? Because teachers guide students, understand their feelings, and provide personal support. Which machines cannot do. Okay, so this is my answer, that no. Why no? Because the teacher can guide the student according to their level. For example, they are below average students, they are average student, and above average students. So we can differentiate, we can guide them with, according to their level, and we can manage the activities according to their levels. Okay, so that's why. And there one more one more point, that is the strongest point, that is we have the feelings and we can understand the human feelings too. ठीक है, हम हमारे अंदर feelings हैं, हमारे अंदर emotions हैं, और हम किसी दूसरे के emotions और उसके feelings को भी understand कर सकते हैं. And we can provide the personal support. हम personal support अगर किसी बच्चे को चाहिए होती है, then we can give them any type of personal support, which machines cannot do. ठीक है, जो machines नहीं कर सकते because they don't have any type of feeling, any type of emotions. Okay, so this is your question number 2 for today's lesson, and there is question number 3 and the last question for today's lesson. Why the microprocessor what is the biggest advantage what is the biggest advantage of microprocessor? Okay, you have to write what is the biggest advantage of microprocessor in the 4th generation, that we use in the 4th generation. Okay, so basically microprocessor is a technology that we use in the 4th generation. So you have to tell me what is the biggest advantage of using the microprocessor. ठीक है, और भी बहुत सारी टेक्नोलॉजीज हम डिफरेंट फर्स्ट जनरेशन, सेकंड जनरेशन और थर्ड जनरेशन में यूज करते रहे हैं. we used the vacuum tube in the first generation, we used the transistor in the second generation, we used the integrated circuit in the third generation, and we use the microprocessor in the 4th generation. What is the biggest advantage of using the microprocessor? सबसे बड़ा advantage क्या है microprocessor को use करने का? You have to tell me. Okay, so it is the 4th generation technology, and the time period is the 4th generation time period is 1971 to present. ठीक है, अभी भी हम microprocessors को use कर रहे हैं. क्यों use कर रहे हैं? because the size of the computer. ठीक है, जहाँ पे microprocessor की बात आ रही है, it reduce the microprocessor ने क्या किया है, reduce कर दिया है the size of the computers. आपके computers के जो size है उनको क्या कर दिया है, reduce कर दिया है, and make it smaller, faster and powerful. उसको small भी कर दिया है, small in sense size, and improve the storage and make it more powerful. ठीक है, and after that we can easily carry our computer by ourselves. हम खुद से इसको carry out कर सकते हैं because its size is very small. So the answer is, so you can write the answer. The biggest advantage of using the microprocessor is that computer becomes smaller in size, faster and more powerful. Okay, and this made computer easier to use in homes, schools and offices. Okay, so this is the answer of your question number 3. You can write all the 3 answer by yourself. आप खुद से भी इनके answers लिख सकते हैं. ठीक है, okay, so the answer of the question number 3 is the biggest advantage of using the microprocessor is that computer becomes smaller in size. This is the first advantage, and then it due to the smaller size, it make the computer faster and more powerful. ठीक है, and after that this made computer easier to use in homes, schools and offices. So this is all for today's lesson. In today's lesson we learn the 3 questions. The first one is, what do you understand by an operating system? Give 2 example. आप operating system के बारे में आपने क्या पढ़ा है, आपने वो बताना है, and then you have to write the 2 example. आपने कोई सी भी 2 example लिख देनी है. ठीक है, and उसके बाद आप लोगों ने क्या करना है, आप लोगों ने बताना है the answer is an operating system is a collection of programs that manage and control the computer. ये collection of programs है जो manage कर रहा है किसको, computer को, computer के all tasks को, and there is example that is your classroom, students and the teachers. ठीक है, you can understand with this example. So after that we learn about the example of the operating system. They are these 3 are the example of the operating system: Windows, Mac OS, Android, and there are a lot of example. For example, iOS is also example of operating system. Okay, so the question number 2 for today's lesson from today's lesson is, do you think that in the future AI might replace the teacher in your classrooms gives reason for your answer. Okay, if you write the yes, then you have to write the reason for your answer to justify your answer, and if you write the no, then you have to write the reasons for your answer too. Okay, so the answer is no, because the AI cannot AI don't have any type of feeling or emotion, so they can that's why they cannot understand the feeling of students, or they cannot understand the mood swing of the students. So that's why they cannot replace the teacher fully. ठीक है, completely वो टीचर को replace नहीं कर सकता. There are some situations जिसमें वो टीचर से बेहतर भी आपको समझा सकते हैं, but they completely वो जो कंप्यूटर रोबोट्स हैं या फिर आप लोग की जो AI है कैन नॉट रिप्लेस अ टीचर. ओके, एंड आफ्टर दैट देयर इज द लास्ट क्वेश्चन, दैट इज व्हाट इज द बिगेस्ट एडवांटेज ऑफ माइक्रोप्रोसेसर. So the biggest advantage of microprocessor is the microprocessor make the computer size smaller. उसने उसका size क्या है smaller कर दिया है, faster उसको कर दिया है, उसको more powerful कर दिया है. And we can use the computer at home, schools and offices too. Okay, so these are from today's lessons, and you have to write these questions in your notebooks. आपने अपने इसको notebook में लिखना है, and please you have to write this question in a proper and neat and clean way. ठीक है, आपने बिल्कुल neat और clean आपने इसको लिखना है. Is it clear to everyone? Take care of yourself, and that's all for today's lesson. Allah Hafiz.